It's time to turn in your homework. That's what they always told us at school. Today, you're going to learn what that means. Turn something or turn someone in. Hi there, everyone. It's Jeff, and this is Plain English, episode number 836. The full lesson for today's episode is at plainenglish.com/836. Plain English is a great podcast for you if you want to upgrade your English skills. Today's episode is all about the phrasal verb turn in. We first used this phrasal verb in a story from 2020, a while ago. And something crazy was happening that year. It was during the pandemic. People would open their mailboxes and they would find seeds. Nobody knew who they were coming from or what they were. This was concerning. People were worried that these seeds were poisonous. They didn't know what to do with them, and of course, they hadn't ordered them. So police were saying, listen, there's nothing to be worried about, but if you get any type of mysterious seed or package in the mail, and you don't know who sent it, then it's best to just turn it in to the police. So that's how this phrasal verb, turn in, first appeared in Plain English. And now it's time for you to learn how you can use this phrasal verb in your own life. Here we go. Before we start today's story, I'd just like to remind you that the podcast is just one part of how we can help you upgrade your English skills. At plainenglish.com, you can make faster progress with active learning strategies. You can take quizzes, do activities, listen to the fast version of the audio, watch video workshops, practice what you learn, and even join a live call with JR and me. It's all about helping you build your skills to become a better, more confident English speaker. Sound good? Go to plainenglish.com to start your free 14-day trial today. Now, let's jump into today's story. Today's expression is a phrasal verb, turn in. There are a lot of different ways to use this one, but let's focus on just one for today. Here's how you heard it on today's lesson. If you get a package of mysterious seeds in the mail, you shouldn't plant them. You shouldn't even throw them out. You should turn them in to your country's agriculture department for testing, and so they can dispose of them. When you turn something in this sense, you are giving something of importance to an authority figure. An authority figure could be the police. It could be your teacher if you're a kid in school. It could be a government agency. Why should you turn the seeds in to a state agency? It's a precautionary measure. If you plant them in your garden, you could be introducing an invasive species. If you throw them out, they could still find their way into the local environment. Unlikely, but possible. It's better to turn them in so your local agriculture agency can test them and dispose of them safely. Turn in is a popular phrase in America's classrooms. Turn in your homework, teachers say. I assume they still say that. When I was in school, we students sat in rows and rows of seats, and the teachers would tell us, turn in your homework or turn in your tests. We would all pass the papers up to the teacher in the front of the room, we gave those over to an authority figure. When you visit an office building, they might give you a temporary badge that helps you unlock the doors inside. When your business in that building is done, you have to turn it in at the security desk when you leave. If you find a piece of evidence that might help solve a crime, you can turn that in to police. You either take it to the police department or call them to come get it. You turn the evidence in, you give it to an authority figure. It's possible to turn a person in to police. That person might even be you. If you're accused of a crime, you might voluntarily turn yourself in to police. You might go to the police station yourself rather than wait for the police to find you. You might remember that sad story of the Panama students. At the time of our lesson, police had identified just one suspect, but another person turned himself in. This second kid, and they were all just kids, turned himself in because he was afraid of yet a third person who was involved in the killings. Here in the U.S., if you want to get on the ballot in an election, you need to first gather enough signatures of citizens who support your candidacy. Otherwise, anyone could be on a ballot and it would be chaos. If you want to run for office, you need to collect signatures and turn them in to the local election authority. If you want to be the mayor of Chicago, you need to turn in 12,500 signatures of citizens who support your candidacy. If you want to run for governor of our state, a much bigger area, you need to turn in, are you ready? 5,000 signatures. Right, less than half required for the lower post of mayor of a single city in our state. In the town I grew up in Connecticut, if you want to be on the ballot, you need to turn in just 100 signatures of your fellow citizens who support your candidacy. In golf, even at the highest levels, every individual golfer keeps his or her own scorecard. At the end of the round, any player in a golf tournament must sign the scorecard and turn it in. They have to give the scorecard to the tournament officials, the authority figure in this case, to certify that they have not cheated and that they did in fact earn the score they say. This is a good one to know. Back when I was a kid, the teachers said, it's time to turn in your homework. So we had to give our homework, which was written on a piece of paper, to the teacher. I don't think that happens as much today. I think kids press send on their computers. That's all for this episode of Plain English. This was number 836, so you can find the full transcript and translations of keywords and phrases at plainenglish.com/836. See you back here on Monday. Listen up. If you speak Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, German, French, Italian, Japanese, Polish, or Turkish. One of the most frustrating things about listening and reading in a second language is being confused by unfamiliar words or phrases. When you listen to plain English, or when you read the transcript, you probably encounter some words you don't know. When that happens, you have a few options. You can stop the audio, go look up the definition, then return to the episode, find your place, and press play again, but that's exhausting. Or you can just skip it and be confused. That's no fun either. But what if you could see the translation of the word into your language instantly without having to stop the audio, without having to look anything up? Well, you can at plainenglish.com. For each episode, we translate about 100 words and phrases from English to 9 languages: Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, German, French, Italian, Japanese, Polish, and Turkish. And we highlight those words in blue. All you have to do is hover your mouse over the highlighted word and you'll see the translation instantly. It works great on mobile too. It really makes listening a lot more satisfying, and it's a great way to expand your vocabulary in English. The best way to see these translations is to sign up for a free 14-day trial at plainenglish.com. During your trial, you can read as many transcripts as you like, all with the translations into your language. So sign up for your free trial today at plainenglish.com.